Thing I want to do is start by introducing myself. I'm your girl, Terry Long. A lot of you all may see me on Thursdays with my amazing husband. We do an amazing show called Spotlight Over the City. It's every Thursday at 7 o'clock. It's an amazing platform where we talk about everything, relationships, what's going on in the world. We have amazing guests on every show. Last week we had the cast members from Love and Marriage DC on the OWN network, and also a cast member from OWN's Ready to Love. So for those of you all who watch Trauma to Triumph because you've seen me on Spotlight Over the City, thank you very much. But today is Trauma to Triumph Tuesdays, where we sit down and we talk to amazing, strong, brave women. So far, it's only been women, but I'm not excluding men. So just keep that in mind. But so far, it's been all women. And it has been phenomenal. So much so that every single Tuesday when I finish these calls, I always get someone who sends me an email or a DM telling me how this Instagram live changed their life. I'm not even lying. Like at least one person every week reaches out to me to tell me about how impactful these Trauma to Triumph Tuesday Instagram lives have been. So we're going to keep going. We're going to keep moving. As I say every Tuesday, with anything great, to birth anything great requires a lot. It requires a lot of prayer, a lot of consistency, a lot of work, and a lot of money. So I'm still accepting donations. I'm always looking for those who want to sew into this project. So if you would love to help me keep things going, I do have to get some more filming done. I want to get some merchandise one day. And I also want to do I want to participate in some large women's conferences across the United States where we can really, really talk about this new mission of healing millions of people through the sharing of our stories of how we transition from trauma to triumph. That's what this really is all about. You can go to the website, www.trauma2triumph.com, and sign up if you have a story to share or if you want to recommend it to someone. I've put in the comments how you can make donations to this project. I'm super grateful. No amount is too small. $5, hey, I am super grateful, whatever the amount is. So let's get started with tonight's amazing woman. This woman agreed she gave me a yes, kind of sort of at the last minute. And so I am so grateful. Can't wait for you all to meet Vincina person. So I'm going to bring her into the live. Vincina, okay, there we go. Y'all see, who is that right there? Do y'all, well, you can't really see it. Hello, beautiful.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing amazing. How are you doing?
Good. Hold on. What is this filter? What are these things doing down here?
I don't know, but you look amazing.
Oh, okay.
You really do. You look good.
Thank you. I
Yes,
just see the comments. I don't want to touch it because I don't want to mess it
your
up.
lighting is good. Everything's good.
Thank
Everything
you.
is looking really, really good.
Okay.
So, how are you?
I'm great. I'm great. How are you?
Thanks for
You know what? I haven't been out of the house all day today.
really.
Mm-mm.
And I've actually been out of the house all day. I went to lunch with someone, an amazing woman, and our lunch date was at 1:15.
Okay.
I had to leave and bust a move. I said, Dawn, I gotta go. I got Trauma to Triumph. And that was at 7:15. I had to break up the lunch date. The lunch that
Wait a
started at
minute. So
1.
you didn't mind the rain today?
Listen, well, I don't even remember anything about the rain. I just know that I went to have lunch at 1:15 with this woman, a phenomenal woman, and we did not depart until 7:15. And that's because I said, I gotta go. I've never had a lunch date that lasts that long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours.
That was it. No, that was needed.
And it didn't even feel like 6 hours. So
Yeah.
listen, we talked a lot about this amazing project, Trauma to Triumph. So some really great things are going to be birthed out of the 6 hours I spent today. But that's not what we're here tonight for. We're
I
here to
know,
talk
right?
about you and focus on you and your amazing journey and the things that you want to share about who you are as a woman today. And then let's take it back a little bit and talk about, the onset of traumatic things in your life and how you got through them, and bring us full circle to where you are now.
Okay. So I am Vincina Person. I am 53 years old. I'm a registered nurse. I have I
Yeah.
have two grown sons. I have two beautiful grandchildren. I'm also a nurse entrepreneur. I help female brands and entrepreneurs create content with short
Yeah.
form video, which is Reels, That's what they're using now on Instagram and all of the other platforms. It used to be still images.
Uh-huh.
When Instagram first came out, it was just pictures, pictures,
Right. It was
pictures.
just
But
pictures.
now we've transitioned over to short form video. So, and that just helps you get your business seen more. So
I
that,
love it.
yeah, I do that.
Okay. That's pretty fun. It sounds, pretty fun. I spent a lot of time doing that kind of stuff just for Spotlight Over the City. And so I realized the value in having someone do something like that.
Yeah.
So kudos to you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and so I'm very proud of that, and I love to hear. Like I'm a little bit jealous that you have grandkids and I don't. Like I'm 52, you're 53, and I don't have any yet. And I tell my daughters that I want one or two, but they're not ready yet, so I won't rush it.
Yeah, don't rush it.
Yeah, I won't rush it. I won't rush it. So take us back down memory lane, and let's get into a little bit about some of the trauma you experienced, and where things are, how you transition from that. Let's talk about it.
Let's go back to TGIF Fridays in Southfield.
Okay.
Did you ever go to that spot?
I did not.
Really?
TGIFs.
Yeah, Fridays in Southfield on, yeah, where's Fridays at? No,
Where's
yeah,
that?
in Southfield.
Well,
I
where's
think
that?
Civic Center Drive. Civic Center Drive. Everybody used to hang out at Fridays. You've never
Um,
been there?
mm-mm. No. And I've lived is it in Prince George's County?
Do you live in Michigan?
Girl, no. Woo! I'm in
Look,
Maryland.
okay.
That's what I'm like. What? What's she talking about? I'm like, I know the Fridays in Greenbelt.
I
So
know, right?
that's the disconnect. No,
So that's
you're
the
in
disconnect.
Michigan. I'm
I'm
in
in
Maryland.
Michigan. Wow. Okay.
Yes. That's even more exciting. I love it when I have women on here that are in different parts of the United States. So that's I'm really happy to hear that. So
Okay. So Fridays is like a Chili's, or that was just a popular spot back
mm-hmm.
then. That was in 91. So me and my girls, we're sitting there, we're hanging out at the bar, and I noticed this guy with this dark blue jacket on, which said DPD.
Mm-hmm.
So that meant Detroit police officer. And
Oh.
I was like, oh, okay. That means he got a job. That means he got some benefits.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
So
DPD.
yeah, DPD. And he kept, staring and looking my way. And eventually introduced himself to me, and we exchanged numbers. And
Okay.
I know, right? So we started dating for a while. And this was interesting at the time. I lived at my mom's, and my mom was old school, and we were grown. But sometimes he would come over and he thought he could stay. And my mom was like, no, he got to go
Yeah.
home.
Yeah. Yeah, I have old school parents like that too.
Do
And I'm
you?
the same way with my daughters. My daughters are in their late 20s. And, if you had a boyfriend over here, cool. He's cool and all of that. But he can't sleep here.
No.
If it's a snowstorm or something, then he can go downstairs on the couch, maybe.
Yeah. No, but I just remember this so vivid. So, even some days when we would just try and be quiet in the basement, we heard them feet getting up. And my mama was, Cena, you still got company, embarrassing me. So I'm like, oh my God. I said, you gotta go. I said, my mother is not going to let you stay here. You have to leave. This is her house. You can't stay here.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So sometimes I would stay at his house, and he lived up in his room was up in the front, and sometimes his mom was in the back. And I was sneaking out of the house before she woke up. Before
I know
I'm just
that's
trying to
right.
paint a picture here. So that went on for about, and he lived far east. So we were like 30, 40 minutes away from each other. So
Uh-huh.
as time went on, 2 years, I was like, okay, so how long are we going to keep burning up 94? What are we, what are we doing? So we got married. I was I was pregnant with my second child. We got married. Bought a nice house on the east side. Not my first house, and let's see. The kids were. I think Vincent was like in the second grade, and I wasn't a fan of the east side.
Mm-hmm.
We eventually moved to the west side from where I was from, and we just raised our children.
Okay.
Yep, from middle school, high school. It was in the suburbs. We were really proud because the location that we moved to didn't have a lot of Black people at all. So yeah, just a really small suburb.
And so far so good. Things are going well.
Yep, so far so good, going well. And I guess over time, life just happened.
Mm-hmm.
Life just started happening, and we started growing apart, and we got a divorce. We were divorced in 2009. I actually filed 3 times.
Really?
I filed 3 times.
So what's that like? You change your mind, you file and then
Changed
you
my mind. You get into it and you have your mind set up and you don't leave. Most of the time, women don't leave. One, because they're not financially secure.
Mm-hmm.
Not where are you going,
Right.
so because it took both incomes to stay in that house, the large
Okay.
house that we had in the suburbs. So I couldn't afford it on my own, and then for me to leave, that meant I would have to uproot and go somewhere, and that usually happens while you're trying to get your nest egg together or whatever. You end up making up, and you
Okay.
forget about what you were mad about and why you were going to get the divorce.
Right.
And and that gets put on the back burner.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So
you filed 3 times.
three
But you
times.
finally did get divorced. And like you
Finally,
say, it was just irreconcilable differences, nothing crazy.
infidelity.
Yeah, okay.
Infidelity.
Okay.
And and it was hard. It was traumatic because we dated 2 years
Mm-hmm.
prior and then married for 14 years.
Wow.
So yeah, that's a long time. That's like my life partner. I was with
That is a long time.
a long
And
time.
so when you say infidelity, I'm not going to dig too deep into your business like that, but was it like habitual infidelity, or was it just, were you of the mindset, once I learned that you cheat, it's over?
No, it was a string of
Habitual.
events. Yeah,
Yeah, I
habitual.
get it. Where
Yeah,
you feel like, you know what? I forgave you, but look, you can't keep doing this.
you can't keep doing it.
I got you.
Here we are again. Here we
Right.
are again. Okay,
Right.
how many times? Yes, and it was just too much. It was, too much for me. So,
Okay. Understood.
and that was just very stressful and
Mm-hmm.
traumatic.
Yeah.
Like you said, that's a long time, and you look up, and that's like 16 years. Half of my
Yeah.
life, really.
That's
So,
that's a long time.
a very long time. So,
So after you got divorced, what happens in your life after that?
so after I got divorced, the divorce was very traumatic. I mean, it came down to where we were dividing up DVDs.
Wow.
I'm taking this, you taking that, and just it was just very traumatic. I was angry.
Mm-hmm.
I was, I'm at the house with the kids, and I am supposed to be trying to heal.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
chose not to do that though. A girlfriend of mine, we started hanging out at this bar, taking ballroom lessons.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, ballroom lessons, fun.
Yeah.
And ended up meeting a guy and dating him. And that story started unfolding. Next thing you know, the guy is at the house. He moved into the house.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
look at your face.
I'm like, okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
the guy moved into the house. So we're trying to adjust to
Establish a
that,
life together. Okay.
which was really, now that I look at it and think about it, I was really just angry, trying to get back at my ex.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You doing this, that, and the other. I said, okay, so guess what I'm gonna do?
Me too.
Exactly. Me too.
Right.
Oh my goodness. And I don't know why women try and do that, because it doesn't work too
It
well.
doesn't. I've been there though. I did that. Been there, done that, and it doesn't work. It doesn't.
It does not work.
Mm.
It's like, I don't know. I don't think we're built for that,
No.
to get back in the trying
Most
to
of us are not.
no. So yeah, I'm dating this guy, and that went well for about I guess maybe 2 years, and then he cheated. Yeah, he cheated too.
So now you're looking at, you're probably like, well, damn,
Double.
what?
Hmm. Now the thing about that is, though, where the trauma came in and where I was able to have a little bit of control is because that was my house.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Okay.
my house. That was
Mm-hmm.
my house. And I was like, oh, you got to go.
He's got to go.
You have to go. You have to go. And I remember I was studying acting at the time, and I was getting ready for a play, and I heard him on the phone. I was upstairs we usually sleep upstairs, and I turned around and he wasn't in the bed. So I got up, and I heard, these voices. I heard him talking, and I didn't know who he was talking to so early in the morning. Come
Mm-hmm.
downstairs, and he was on the phone talking to another female
In your house.
in my house. And the whole thing escalated. And in the meantime, I had a play to go to
Mm-hmm.
that same day. And I told him to leave, get out of my house. Of course, he didn't. He showed up to the play, and showed up to the play. Now listen, he showed up to the play, and I got to play it off in front of my friends because they
Right.
don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we get back to the house, and this big fight occurred, and we're fussing and fighting, and I wanted him to leave, and I put a gun on him.
You did.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And that night the police came, and and I ended up going to jail.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because you
Because
did you shoot him or try
we
to
were
shoot him?
fighting. So because he knew it was either me or him, and he wasn't going to jail. So he was like, she pulled a gun on me. Yeah. Isn't that something? Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I know, right?
So
Yeah.
maybe I just don't understand things like the law, because I'm like, if I'm in the house and me and this man are fighting, then you know that I can't beat a man up. You gotta know that I can't whoop him.
Exactly.
I can't pull a gun or a knife on him.
Exactly. Exactly. So I'm devastated.
Damn,
Right. So
yeah.
I'm in my house, and I'm trying to get him out. And yeah, so he was like, well, one of you got to go. So you got to remember, I lived in a really small suburb,
Mm-hmm.
so it was
Not
like
many of us.
yeah, not many. So they was like, one of y'all are going. And I just couldn't. So I'm trying to wrap this around my head, because all of this is snowballing, and you're like thinking, like, who is
Yes,
that?
and the
Yeah.
kids.
Um, I think my oldest was, they may have not even been there. They couldn't have been there because it wouldn't have went down like that. So
Right,
yeah,
right,
they
right.
were not there.
No, I'm thinking about the kids. You know, if you go to jail, what happens with the kids?
So I went to jail. I did get out, I think, and it seemed like forever. I think I got out um
Mm,
maybe in 24 hours or 48 hours or something like that.
too
But
long.
yeah, yeah, for somebody that's never been
Mm.
at
Oh,
all. But yeah,
that experience alone is
very
traumatizing in my
traumatic.
mind.
Mm-hmm. 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 For somebody that, you know, doesn't even belong in your house. And, you know, I want you, our time here is done. I just want you to leave.
I just want you to be
I just
gone.
want you to go. Yeah, yeah, I ain't going. It's not even your house. This is not your house. I need for you to go. So, yeah, very traumatic.
And so you went to jail and then you got out. Did you have to
Mm-hmm.
go to court for that at some
Yeah,
other
ended
point?
up going to court. Ended up going to court. And it was thrown out.
Thank God.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was thrown out. I had a very good attorney, one of the best here in Michigan. And I did pen a chapter about it because only a few people know about this. It's people in my family that don't even know about this. If they didn't read the book, they wouldn't know
They
because
would know.
Vincina doesn't share stuff like that. Oh, that didn't happen to Vincina. She went to jail. Yeah, so yeah,
Wow. So it is in the book.
it is in the book.
Oh, girl.
I know.
Woo. So did that get him out of the house though?
They got him out of the house eventually. It was it was a little process, but yeah, it eventually he got out of the house.
And the charges were dropped.
Charges were dropped. So then I'm at this point now. I have to heal 2 times.
Yes.
Yeah, because a friend of mine, a friend of mine told me, and I'll never forget it. That he said, "Vincina, you just got divorced from your ex-husband. You need to just chill out for a minute. Y'all were together for a long time, but we're so attached to something, even if it's bad. We're attached to something,
Isn't that
good or
something?
bad. We are, even if it's good. We're attached to something or somebody, even if they're not good for us. You start thinking,
Mm-hmm.
well, they cheat, but it's only once a year. It's okay.
Right.
Yeah, it's not that bad. We start,
Not
settling
that
in.
bad.
It's not that bad because if I meet somebody else, woo, I got to start this whole process over,
Start
and
all over again.
I
At
got
least I
to, I got to sell my house. Well, it ain't that bad, because well, you do have this, and well, at least ain't no women pulling up in your driveway, and you start thinking of all kind of crazy things,
yep.
why it's okay to settle and stay what you're comfortable in because it's just so scary and traumatic at the thought of starting off. Who wants to
Of
start
starting
all over
all over
again
again.
in
Right.
their 40s and 50s? Are you kidding? And the way everything is set up now, that's a whole nother conversation
It
because I
really
don't
is.
know who we're preparing for now, but
Mm,
yeah,
mm,
so
mm.
just that right there in itself is traumatic. And there's a lot of women they stay. They stay
They
and
do.
just,
They
yeah.
do.
You be like,
They
it's
do.
not that bad. Or at least I know what I'm getting with this.
That's the famous thing that I always hear. You know
Yeah,
what you got,
I know what I
but you
got. So
don't
you
know
really
what you're
want to
going to be getting when you go back out there. So let me just deal with what I
let
got.
me just stay right here. And a girlfriend of that, a good girlfriend of mine just said that. She told me that I saw her and they had gotten back together. She said, "Yeah, I never went anywhere. He, did what he was gonna do, and now he, settled down, and they right back together." And you know what? I have to be honest. Sometimes I wonder, did I give up too soon? I that
Mm.
went through my mind because I was seeing a lot of people that were on the police department going through the same similar things, and they was hooping and hollering and clowning and stuff, and now they going on trips and
And now they're still together.
they're still
Because
together.
because most women will will accept cheating. I mean, because most women, honestly, Vincina, expect that that's what it is. Like most women, I will share with you, like my mother, who's, she's been with my dad for 57 years. So they've
Wow.
never broken up. But my mother has always said, baby, all men cheat.
I used to
All of
say
them.
that too.
So you have these expectations now that that's what it is. So if they do what you already expect them to do, as long as they not having sex in the house with the woman, then maybe it's not that bad. Or
It's
at
not
least he
that
come
bad.
home. At least he's not spending the night out with her. So I mean, it's not
We
that
we
bad.
we start rationing out what's not that bad. It's not that
Yeah,
bad. He just gonna cheat maybe once a year. It's not that bad. Like I said,
yeah,
she's not coming to the house. I'm not getting any STDs.
right.
At least your bills paid. I'm getting Gucci and Louis, and I got a big old 2,400 square foot home in the suburbs. It's okay. Really? Do you want to, go over and start? So we start. All of that
So
does is
most women accept it, especially when the conditions are like what you just said. When the situation is such that they don't the man is paying all the bills, they're in a nice comfortable home, they have nice things, they get to go on trips and stuff. It's like, you know what, it's whatever, because if I get another man, he gonna cheat too,
you're gonna do the
probably.
same thing.
So if you're gonna get somebody, if all of them cheat, you may as well get one that's paying the bills and all that kind of stuff, right? That's what a lot of women think. May as well get the best cheater. They all cheat, just get the
Yes,
best one.
yes, the best cheater. I know, and I have my best friend. I would say that all men cheat, and she was like, "No, all men don't
I
cheat."
don't believe that. I don't believe that they all do. I believe that there's a strong possibility that most do.
Okay,
But I think that there's a population of men who really can be faithful. I still believe that. I still keep hope alive that not all men cheat.
right now that was how I felt earlier, but just coming around and after going to church and just different mentors
Mm-hmm.
and getting around some men that are ready. It's a difference between you dragging somebody down the aisle versus somebody that's just ready.
It's
They've done what
ready.
they just ready. They've done what they wanted to do, and let's do this.
Right.
They're building. So I do believe that not all men cheat. They
That's
just
what
have
I
to be
believe
ready.
too.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
I
yeah.
believe that too. So
I
any
don't
women
know how
on
many
here,
people.
keep
Yeah,
hope alive.
exactly. So I don't know how many people are on the earth. 8 billion. I know there's one person out there that's not gonna cheat on me.
That's not a cheater. Right. I'm with you on that. So
Yeah.
did you find love again after that, or how did life turn out for you after after you went to jail for that short stint and you got the
Mhm.
charges dropped?
Mhm.
Where does that take you with your life after that?
That takes me to dating. I had
Mm-hmm.
a long-term relationship that ended. Um, that was about 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
and after that, just a few, just here and there, just
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And so how did the was there anything that went on your record that like kind of messed you up from when you went to jail for that situation?
Mm-mm. No,
Because
I had a
everything.
no, I had a very good attorney. I that was so traumatizing for me because I'm a nurse. So
Yeah.
my license, my livelihood was in jeopardy. So when I
Yeah.
was asking, um, people in the city, yeah, I couldn't just have any old body. I had to have one of the best. So I had to
Right.
get, one of the best
You
attorneys here.
got the best attorney.
Yeah,
I'm
and it was,
still just in disbelief that you went to jail for that. I just
yeah,
can't believe that the law is like that.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah. So and you never know. So domestic violence situations are iffy. You never know how they'll turn out as police
Yeah.
officers. Those are very traumatic situations on both ends. Sometimes the police will go to a run, and trying to take the mail out, and then the woman jump on the police. So it just, yeah, domestic violence those are very scary runs to go on. So because
Wow.
the tables could change, and and they do say that, when they call you out, if you don't want us to come, keep us out of your business.
Yeah, I get
Yeah,
it. Now,
yeah.
were you prepared to do anything with that gun that you pulled on him? Like
No,
when you think back, like what was going through your mind?
I was so angry with him that I had somebody in my house that was telling me what he was not going to do. And we were physically, fighting, tussling back and
So
forth. And
you would fight him back.
I just wanted them out. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
listen, it's time for you to go. You
Right.
listen, get out. And and it was crazy and just wrong, but I don't know how I even got to that point. I don't know if you've ever done something and you sit there and you're like, how did that snowball to that? So, and that's what it was. It was just a
Wow.
snowball. And of course I wasn't going to use it, but when I think about it now, I'm like, that just could have went so many other
It
ways.
could have. He called
So,
the police on you.
yeah.
And he let you go to jail for that.
Isn't that something? Isn't that
Wow.
something? Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Because it was either him or me, because they was taking somebody. And I was like, I want him out. And they were going to take him,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because they were going to take him. We had scratches on our face and everything.
So
And
it was visible that y'all
it was
were.
visible that we were fighting. So when the police came, I put the gun up.
Okay.
I'm like, I just want you to get out. And it was time for him to leave. And and some of my friends say that. They said, I can't believe that dude did that. And he was like, she pulled a gun on me.
I can't either.
Yeah. So that sent a wild search, and I hid it, and the police were looking for it. I wouldn't tell them where it was. It was just a mess. It was a mess. It was a mess, a mess, a mess.
And
All of
they
this.
found it. Did they find it, or you eventually said, here it is?
I eventually had to say, here it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the gun back. The case was, yeah. So.
Wow, girl.
Right?
Man. And so, I mean, I'm just sitting here trying to wrap my mind. So when you go to jail, just for the short stint that you're there, were you scared? Like
Terrified. Yeah, because I've never been. So let's back up. So I am a former Detroit police officer. So I was on the other side.
okay,
I'm
and you
inside the cell. So
right,
yeah, just traumatized. I'm like, what? Yeah, why am I here? So just traumatized
man,
and just sitting there trying to think, what is my next move? How do I
right.
get out of here? And I'm trying to remember,
Mm.
what happened? How did I get out?
Wow, I'm just blown away. Like,
I
wow.
know, right?
Well, okay. Well, so how was your experience when you were in there? Did you make any friends, or did you make any enemies, or what?
No, totally disgusted. You just sitting in the cell and you're fingerprinted, and yeah, what I would normally do as an officer. So, they taking the laces out your shoes, and it's like I'm there, but I'm not there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is like just so surreal. I can't, and just sitting there, and I'm like, oh. They're like,
Wow.
you want anything to eat? And I was like, no.
No.
I'm ready to get out of here.
Right.
But yeah, so.
Wow. Oh.
And I
Oh.
wasn't so. And when we got to thinking about writing in the book, because I have other stories to tell, of course. So one of my mentors, they were like, Vincina, when you share a story, I want you to share something that other women can learn from. And
Yes.
I have so many. And I still remember when the deadline was due to turn this story in, I got scared. I said, I'm not telling this story.
Really?
I said, I'm not telling that. And she was like, Vincina, this is it. This is the one that you need to share. Do you know how many
Mm-hmm.
people are sitting, waiting, or they're in situations and they think it's the end of the world? So when
Yeah.
you tell yours and shit, and they gonna be like, not Vincina.
Yeah.
She almost caught a case.
She almost caught a case, y'all.
Exactly.
Vincina, oh, when she snapped and said, "Look, you
Yeah.
gonna get out of here."
You gonna get out of here. Yeah, you know. So they were like,
Wow.
yeah, people need to know that because you look like
Mm,
you have it all together. Nobody would ever think that. Not Vincina.
wow.
So she convinced me. She said, that's the one, that's the story you need to tell.
Absolutely. I have to tell you, Vincina, I have never, of course, I've met many men in my life who've gone to jail or spent time in jail or been locked up, all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. You're my first, and I'm calling you my friend because we became friends tonight. You're
Yes.
my first friend, female, that I know of who even had an experience like that. And I'm sure, like you said, that there are other women out here who have probably experienced something like what you experienced or
Mm-hmm.
worse.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm grateful for you sharing that.
Thank
Because
you.
again, I'm just like, wow, for
Mm-hmm.
real?
Mm-hmm.
Like that really happened.
I know. I know.
And like I said, I also learned something about, like you say, domestic violence. Like I'm in awe still. I'm taken aback that if, I'm in my home and I have a man in here, and you can see that we've been rumbling. You can see we've been fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So, at the end of the day, if it keep going, he might can really do something to me, like really life threatening. Like he could beat me up. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
get something and make sure that that doesn't happen. And why can't
Exactly.
I pull a gun on him? Why can't I?
I know. I'm not. I don't. I, that is
You
interesting.
know?
I guess that happened so we could be where we are today.
Yeah.
I guess,
Yeah.
you know,
Yep.
I guess things
Yep.
happen for you instead of to
Yeah.
you. But yeah, so
So, ladies, y'all need to know you might not can do that to get them out your house, and that's unfortunate. It
yeah,
really is.
it could go. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, those situations are just scary. And then, you know, sometimes, you know, I guess they say, you know what? Well, we gonna take you. And
One of y'all going,
one of y'all going, somebody going to jail.
and
So
he lets you go.
and that was, you know, that pissed me off even more. Yeah, so I'm in jail, you at my house, you know, and then I finally got out and then he wasn't there anymore, but still. But yeah, so just
Now, I'm assuming that you cut that relationship off, or has there been any attempts on his part to try to come back into your life?
there has been some attempts. He would contact my family members through Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
even my children, and I'm like, no,
No.
no.
Right.
No, I almost lost everything over you.
I
Now I know I
know.
went back to my ex, who was my husband at the time, a couple of times, but you can't come back this way.
No.
Absolutely not.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
you could have lost your licensing and
Mhm.
everything.
Mhm. Yeah, because you can't have that as a nurse. You know, you can't. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that was my livelihood. If I can't practice, if I don't have the license, so.
Right. But I'm sure, like you said, you had one of the best attorneys, and I'm sure you were feeling pretty confident as you were leading up to your trial date. That
Mm-hmm.
yeah, good for you,
I
good for you,
know.
good for you.
Grateful.
So where? Okay, so what's next for you? What's next for you in your life? What's the next stepping stone? You went through that. That's honey, that's for the book for sure.
I know, I know. So I am I currently, so as a nurse, so I'm not working on patients in the hospital anymore. I work from home
Okay.
and work from home and then online. I'm thinking about opening up a med spa, where
Mm.
they have Botox injections and fillers and lip fillers. That's a process coming down the line. So I've taken a med spa course, and I think that would be, profitable. A lot of women want to,
Yeah.
we're all looking for that fountain of youth.
Uh-huh.
So, and it just still goes hand in hand with self-care and beauty as a nurse. So
Right.
I'm really looking forward to opening a physical location
Okay.
with the med spa, some, coming up soon.
Well, I would love to meet you one day. Like, I'm excited that I have a friend that lives in Detroit now. Are you still in Detroit? Are you still in Detroit? Yes.
I'm in the Detroit area. Yep, I'm in a small
Right.
suburb outside of Detroit. Yes.
Right. Something like me, like people, like DC. I'm not from DC. I don't live in DC, but I live in the suburbs of DC. I live in Maryland right on the outskirts of DC.
Okay.
So if you're ever in this and it come this way, I really would love to meet you in person. And same thing, if I ever get to come, maybe we'll have a Trauma to Triumph event somewhere in Detroit.
Oh, that'll be good. Let me
Wouldn't
see.
that be
Where
good?
was I in there? I was there maybe, oh, it's been maybe 4 years now. I can't remember exactly where it was, but that was a great experience because like all of y'all cities run right together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was Virginia, then we turned here and we was in Baltimore, then we was
Yeah.
over.
Yeah. That is true. I can be in Baltimore in about 20 minutes. I can be in DC probably in about 15 minutes. And then like you say, everything is like boom, boom, boom. That's
Yes.
why they call it the DMV area, the
Yes.
District, Maryland, Virginia, because we're all like right so connected.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, open invitation if you're ever here for us to hang out or at least see each other. And definitely, I'm thinking, I've been thinking about this movement that we're doing with Trauma to Triumph and healing people with our stories. And I've really been thinking, stretching my mind and saying, like I could do something in like cities, like Detroit,
Oh, that'll be good.
Atlanta,
I think
and
that'll be
do
good.
something where we could all get together and talk about just really talk about things like what you talked about, and we'll have other women as part of it. So keep that on your radar.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So
Do you
thank you
have a
again.
physical location?
Do I have a physical
Do you
location
have
for
a
this?
studio or?
Well, we have a studio that we film out of for this project,
Okay.
but it's not like it's not like my studio. It's a studio that I go into to do
Oh,
filming. Like right now I'm at home and I do
okay.
this every Tuesday from home, but we are filming these stories in a real studio. So we're not every single story is being filmed, but a lot of them are being filmed, and it's going to be an amazing project when it's all said and done.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
Wonderful.
working on season 1 right now. And so all of these Instagram lives will be a part of, my B-roll to go into the project that we're being filmed. So I'm very, very
Oh, that's
grateful for your yes.
great.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm grateful for your yes, and I'm grateful for your courage
Thank
and for
you.
your candidness
Of course.
and your energy. Like this was really good. Like, to be honest, I usually find a way to cry during these things, but this time it wasn't tears. It was just like, what?
And it used to be, and that's why it's so easy to tell now because I'm over it. It's healed.
Yeah, it's
I'm
it's
here.
it's behind us now. It's
Yeah.
behind you now,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
still like one of those things like that really happened.
That really happened. I know, right?
Wow, girl. And look at you now.
I know.
It's one of those these are the stories that I love. I love being able to talk about that, talk about when you were in the trenches like that, and
Mhm.
then say, but look at her now.
I know, right?
That's the thing. Look at you now.
Thank
God is
you.
good. God is
Thank
good.
you.
So listen, and this goes to you and anyone else that's listening right now. If you know of someone that has a story that you would like for them to share on a part of this project, have them send me an email, have them go to the website, which is www.trauma2triumph.com. The email is pretty similar as well, info@trauma2triumph.com, and have them submit their story, and they will be featured on an upcoming Trauma to Triumph Tuesday. I'm still accepting donations so that we can get some more filming done, merchandise done. There are lots of, like, I would love to put on a big event in Detroit or different
Okay.
cities in the United States. So you all that's listening, with everything comes funding. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody that is able to donate at any time, any amount, $5, $10, whatever it is, I'm very grateful. For those who have already donated, so many people have donated already, and that allowed me an opportunity just yesterday, you all, thank you, to film. I was in the studio yesterday filming two amazing women, and that's all because I was able to get enough donations over the past few weeks where I was able to say, let's roll. We got it. We can move. We can take another step forward. So I'm just really grateful that God continues to provide a way and a means for this project to keep going. And it's going to be bigger than any of us can ever imagine. I'm claiming it. I'm manifesting something where we are going to be able to change the trajectory of lives for so many people by
That's
just the
awesome.
sharing of our authentic stories.
Speaking of stories, you were talking about Trauma to Triumph. I was part of a book. I penned that chapter. So when we were in the club, he would call me. He would say, you know how somebody you haven't spoken to for a long time, they'll say, hey, stranger. Hey,
Yep.
stranger. That's the name of the chapter. So if
Hey,
anybody
stranger.
was listening, that's the name of the chapter. And they saved the best for last, guys. I am the last chapter in this book. So if you were on the live and you were listening, you can get my book. It's in my bio. Fearless Women Rock. Find Shrift During the Storm. Yep. And my chapter is in the end. It's the last one. And that
So
link is in
y'all
my
heard
bio.
that. Y'all heard that. Y'all better get a copy of the book. I need to get I cannot wait to get my hands on a copy of it. And her Instagram is Vincina person, right?
Yep.
And the link for the book is in your bio, right?
In my bio. Yep.
Okay, y'all please go make sure you follow her. And then after you follow her, click that link in her bio.
Thank you.
Okay. Because I'm sure some other powerful, amazing stories in that book.
It is. It is. It's powerful stories from the other authors as well.
Yes, yes. All right. Well, thank you again. Thank you all so much for tuning in to another episode of Trauma to Triumph Tuesdays. We will be back next Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time with another amazing story. And we're going to continue to heal millions of lives by sharing our stories. Thank you all. Bye, girl. Thank you
Bye.
so much. Bye. It's going to
Bye.
be up on the YouTube channel too, Vincina. So once it's up on YouTube, I will send you the link so you can share it with others.
Okay. And you want to save this one too, right?
Yeah, this will be on my Instagram live. It won't go anywhere. It'll stay here.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. See y'all
Okay.
later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.